clearly a player with supreme talent that I think is one of the futures of this club, without a doubt.
This is Arda Guler, the Turkish wonder kid who joined Real Madrid amid huge expectations. But right away, things went wrong. Injuries and doubts about his future. Some people said he was too young, just not ready for this kind of level. But today, he's proving them absolutely wrong. With every touch and every goal, doubt fades and belief grows. He just looks set to shine at Real Madrid. But how on earth did a teenager from Turkey get this far into the world's biggest club at just 20? Arda was always a talent, nurtured by the famous Fenerbahçe from Istanbul. At just 16, he broke into their first team, and he never looked out of place. Quite the opposite. That left foot, the calmness, the vision, it was all there. And very quickly, fans realized that this wasn't just another academy player. This was someone special. After Mesut Özil left Fenerbahçe, Güler was given the shirt with number 10. It showed how much the club believed in him. That number had been worn not only by Özil, but also by legends like Alex de Souza and JJ Okocha. And Arda proved right away that he deserved it. In his first match wearing the number 10, he played only 21 minutes, but scored twice.
Arda, kaleye baktı Arda. Arda Güler çaprazda, Arda vurdu, gol! Serdar pasını verdi, Arda kontrol. Arda vurdu, gol! Bir gol daha!
Watch this and ask yourself, is this really normal for a 16-year-old kid? Of course not. And that's why the biggest clubs across Europe started watching. Arsenal, Dortmund, even Barcelona. But in the end, it was Real Madrid who made the move. In the summer of 2023, they paid around 20 million euros to bring him in.
Gracias madridistas, gracias por vuestro cariño.
Bien ahí en español.
For Turkish football, it was one of the biggest transfers in history. Yet for Real Madrid, it was a bargain and a smart investment at the same time. And for Arda, it was the dream move. Straight to the Bernabéu from the Super League.
Hola madridistas!
You could say all sides were satisfied, but what followed was far from ideal. The transfer itself and everything going on around Arda Güler drew massive attention, as Turkey is a country so passionate about football. Before he could even play a single minute for Real Madrid, he got injured. First, a meniscus injury, then some prolonged muscle problems. Weeks turned into months, and the initial excitement turned into frustration. Spanish media started questioning the deal. Was he too fragile or unproven? Not only did the press doubt Arda Güler, many fans began to wonder, would he ever get a chance in such a star-studded squad? Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, they were on a completely different level. So where would Arda fit in? Rumors began to spread. A possible loan move, maybe to Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester United. Anything just to get him game time. But through all this, Arda stayed calm. He trained, he waited, and deep down, he knew he would succeed. Because even with limited minutes, he had already proven it. He became the fastest player in Real Madrid's history to score 6 goals in just 330 minutes. That achievement alone must have given him confidence. If the coach trusted him with more time, he would prove his worth. When he couldn't prove it at the club yet, he did with the national team instead. With Turkey, he almost reached the semi-finals at Euro 2024, and it was often him who carried that team. He even became the youngest player in European Championship history to score on his debut. And what a goal it was!
Arda kaleye baktı. Arda!
That rocket against Georgia decided the match. By the way, if you want to know more about Arda Güler with Turkey during Euro 2024, check out this video. From around April 2025, Arda started to shine on the club stage too. He has been appearing in the starting 11 almost every time. This happens thanks to several reasons. First, his hard work in training. Just look at how he transformed his physique. Fabrizio Romano quoted Spanish daily AS. He's gained 8 kilograms of muscle mass and lives with a fitness trainer, physiotherapist and chef. The second reason is his versatility. He's able to play as a central midfielder, attacking midfielder and winger.
I think I can adapt anything. If team needs me on the wing, I can do, but I think for me it's better thing to play on the midfield.
And the third reason is the fact that several first team players were often injured. Camavinga, Rodrigo, even Rudiger. And when Tchouaméni had to drop back to his place in defense, it opened up spots for Arda. Another factor that helped Arda was the change of the coach. Carlo Ancelotti didn't see him as a part of the starting 11 for the biggest games. For example, in the Champions League playoff, he didn't get a single minute. Manchester City 0, Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 0. But under new coach Xabi Alonso, he has become a key piece of the team. And he proved it immediately at the Club World Cup, scoring 1 goal and providing 2 assists. It was the turning point. The doubts, the injuries, the rumors of a loan, suddenly they all felt distant. And now everyone can see it. The ease with which he plays, the way he understands and reads the game, his creativity. Already in the second round of La Liga, he produced a beautiful assist for Kylian Mbappe's goal.
Tchouaméni le tacle, là, c'est correct selon l'arbitre et ça joue. Ça permet à Mbappé de se procurer une occasion pour Kylian Mbappé et but 1-0.
But that word creativity is absolutely crucial, because who in the current Real Madrid squad is really a creative midfielder? After the long era of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, you could only point to Dani Ceballos, who is reportedly leaving, and the young new arrival Mastantuono. So who will provide the service for stars like Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo and the others? The answer is simple: Arda Guler. Beyond being a playmaker and a dribbler, he also has a great long shot. But there is still room for improvement. He's not really strong in the air, with his weaker right foot, or in defensive work. And considering his versatility, improving those areas could make him even more complete. But if he makes progress like he already has since arriving at Real Madrid, then the sky really is the limit.
Kaan Arda'ya, Arda kaleye baktı.